And if I give you the time to actually think about it, then you'll do those things. It's just going back to sex. It's the same thing. Like if you spend all day with the kids, cooking, cleaning, wiping butts, and breastfeeding, you're not going to be thinking about sex by the time I get home.
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of me bothering you, and this goes for all the fellas out there, before you ask your wife about her habits or what she's doing for herself, you have to ask yourself what you're doing to give her enough time to do the things to take care of herself. Ooh, I'm getting some tonight.
Oh my gosh.
I'm talking good.
Yes, definitely. All those things.
What's going on, you guys? And thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Culture of Health podcast. My name is Austin. I'm one of the hosts of the podcast. And before I get into today's episode with the most beautiful person in the world and the person who came up with the phrase, the culture of health, I want to talk to you guys about one of the partners of the show that makes all of this possible. And that partner is Levels. If you follow me on any of my social media platforms, you'll know how much of a fan I am of this company and the dope people that are behind it. Levels is building tech that helps people see how food is affecting their health through continuous glucose monitoring. I've personally been monitoring my glucose with Levels for over a year now, and it has completely changed the way I eat. Let me explain it simply. You have sugar in your blood, which is a primary source of energy, but when your blood sugar is spiking all the time or just elevated in general, it can cause some pretty severe health complications. It can also lead to less severe complications like brain fog, always being tired, unstable mood, and even impaired sexual function. Yikes, you guys. So many of us experience these symptoms on a daily basis and have no idea why. And that's why I love Levels, because they give you a window into your health by showing you how your diet and habits are impacting your glucose levels. I'm a huge advocate of accepting full responsibility for your health, and Levels makes that a lot easier by showing you in real time how your body is metabolizing food. Monitoring my blood sugar helped me see which food I should be staying away from, which ones I should be eating more of, what order to eat my food in, how to structure exercise around my meals, and so much more. I don't know for sure, but I think you learn similar things if you took a peek underneath the hood that is your metabolic health, and I highly encourage you to do so. Here's the thing. You don't have to monitor your blood sugar for a year like I did. Just 2 weeks of monitoring your blood sugar will teach you enough about your body to empower new habits for the rest of your life. So, I'm inviting you to give Levels a try. I left a special link in the show notes for you that'll give you 2 additional months on top of your annual membership. Keep me posted on your experience and let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you along the way as you pursue optimal metabolic health. All right, you guys, thank you for engaging in those ads for some of the sponsors for our podcast. Like I already mentioned, this is the Culture of Health podcast, and today I have a very special guest, the originator of the phrase culture of health, my beautiful wife, business partner, baby mama. What other titles can you think of?
I don't know. The other day you called me a fairy.
A fairy. She makes my wishes come true. Anyway, Fantasia McGuffey. I really need a hand clap.
We gotta do it again. It's okay.
Cool. Well, actually, let's just jump right into it. I want to start off by defining what a culture of health is. And since you're the originator of this phrase, I'm going to put you on the spot one more time. I want to know, what is a culture of health?
I had a definition, but you have a different definition.
That's
and
okay.
I feel like yours is better than mine.
But you started it, so it has to come from you.
Yeah, I was just putting words together. It's like,
come on,
culture and health. But no, I think it's like it's a lifestyle, right? It's how you create an environment, whether it be in your home, your family, just around you, like just what your environment is. I think. Come on, what else? What else am I missing?
That's it. No, that's
Let
it.
me hear your version.
That sums it up. I think what I said was, a culture of health is all of the influences in your life that create the status of your health,
exactly,
whether it's good or bad,
right?
But it's all the invisible, nuanced things that we observe on a daily basis that ultimately create who we are. And so you look at culture and society and the things that govern how we behave. So the culture of health, especially in a household, is rooted in all the things that contribute to your health.
Exactly.
And for the past couple of days, you have been saying that the culture of health in our household starts with us. What exactly do you mean, like, when you say that?
Yeah, I meant like it starts with us as two people who care about each other in the foundation of our relationship. I feel like that drives everything. That's how our little family started. And it's just, I think that it's rooted in love. And so that's where we do it. That's just how we do everything, so we are able to extend love and grace to every other part of our lives when we are like whole and complete and vibing.
So
together.
like whole, complete vibing. What does that look like? That's looked different for us over the past 10 years, right?
Yes, yeah.
So like, what is your definition of that now? And how have you grown to, to become more whole, to contribute to this culture of health that we have?
Well, first, shout out for 10 years of marriage.
Yes,
almost.
where's the hand clap noise?
Right, in March, March 8th to be exact. I think that, I've grown a lot.
Yeah.
We've both grown a lot. I don't know where to start because I can, all of it's been good, right? You think at the time, but you have no idea like what's to come and how much better things can get. I feel like when we first met 11, 12 years ago, I think now, fast forward to today, I think I'm getting back to who that person was.
Yes, you are.
Because after having kids, after becoming married, having kids, I just naturally like changed. I was a little bit more into like a shell. And my body changed, my mind changed, everything changed really just to survive that time of my life. And I didn't know that I was in survival mode until getting out of it. My best friend and I call it the fog.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that I was just going about my daily life, kind of, but it was like from a more reactive space versus just really being proactive and controlling my thoughts and placing myself in a really good environment. And don't get me wrong, we had some really great years. Like, this is me. It sounds a little critical for those who really know us, because they'll be like, what you mean, Fantasia? But it's just me being,
Honest.
honest and introspective and just really keeping it real, because I know how I feel today.
Yeah.
And I think when I became aware, so it starts with awareness. When I became aware that I could feel better, like physically and mentally, I think that's when the game changed for me.
So awareness, right? Yeah. So you are aware now that you're out of the fog. Would you say that you're out of the fog?
I will. Yeah, I'm out of the fog. You just told me I just came out of the fog a week ago. That's not what it is. There was like the fog, and then some days are cloudy.
Sure.
Than others, right?
But at least the difference is when you're in fog, like if you look around, take like a 360 spin around you, everything looks the same. And so you don't know where you are versus, like you just say, being in the clouds, not up high. It's not cloud nine.
No, not cloud nine.
It's just, I guess, being in the midst of whatever. It's just like, a cloudy situation, I guess.
Yeah. It's like oblivion. It's just,
the difference is
it's a little murky.
Now you know, right?
So I know. So this is the thing. So before, okay, let me paint a picture like this. We have 4 kids, right? Yeah. Ages 4 to 9. Yeah. So we got married 3 weeks before Camden was born.
3 weeks before March 8th, we were married, and Camden was born March 29th.
Yes. So we are very go with the flow type of people.
It's like,
okay?
Oh, well, you're pregnant. Well, you want to get married? Yeah, sure.
I have been asking. So thank you, Camden, for coming into our life at the right time.
Camden is a master manifester.
Exactly, right. It's so funny. So anyway, so you go back to that time, and I literally having kid after kid and like nursing in between, I was just, like I said, I was giving everything to them. I wasn't really replenishing myself, and filling my soul. I was filling my soul and spirit to a degree, but I think I wasn't doing it on a consistent basis, and I didn't know how to ask for help. Like everybody says, ask for help or whatever. But I didn't even know how to really ask for help from you and how to advocate for what I needed, because I didn't know that there was a difference or that was possible. Yeah.
So that makes me wonder, like health has always been a priority in our family, right?
Yeah. Not always.
Okay. No. You're right. That's maybe I have a
a distorted view.
It's a little bit distorted by our most recent endeavors, but
right. But I mean, the majority of the time, I feel like ever since we had Camden, it was like, okay, how are we going to take care of this kid and give him the best start possible?
Right.
You know, we didn't know beforehand,
Yeah.
like eating fast food, you know, I don't know, a bunch of canned food, just doing what we could. We didn't know it at first.
Right.
Then when we had him, I feel like that took things to another level.
At what point did you realize that our relationship was at the root of like the health of our family? You know what I'm saying? Because if you go back to when you were in the fog,
Yeah.
and I guess we can talk about how I contributed to that, because this is not like a you thing only.
No, yeah, for sure.
But if you go back to when we were in the fog, can you like recall what the culture of health in our family was then? Being that our relationship, it was still great, like you said.
And that's really my answer though, because I feel like, even though it's better now, it was still like, I feel like that's what carried us throughout like everything. It was our closeness. It was our ability to, you know, kind of communicate, even if that wasn't, I don't know, always the best way.
Mm-hmm.
We did the best that we could, and I don't know, we did a damn good job.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
did,
saying? Like we just always have had this unique bond.
Yeah.
And I think that has pretty much carried us through.
Mm-hmm.
Now, talking in terms of like best it's ever been, like, yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it's definitely like better now.
Why?
I knew you were about to say that.
I mean, I know why I think it's better, but I want to know why you think it's better.
I mean, there are a number of things. I think it all. You asked me this the other day, and I think you were looking for a specific answer, and I didn't give it to you.
I'm not looking for one this time. I just want to know.
Of course. But I honestly, my opinion of why it's better is because I take time to pour into myself, and I communicate when I need help. Yeah. And from that, I feel like I am overflowing with patience, love, affection, and all the great things that sustain a relationship. I think it starts with me individually and you know, we both as people, you need time to pour into yourself to do the things that make you whole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How can I give to you? I mean, not even just like actual things, but like good energy. How can I give that to you if I'm like depleted?
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's crazy.
That's cool, because like when you think about like going back to like health and like a culture of health and health being rooted in relationships, one of the more important aspects to a relationship is like being intimate with your partner. Sure. And I didn't learn until maybe like a year ago, relatively recently, how important it was for you to take care of yourself in order for you to meet my needs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can recall back when we were like in the fog. We were in the fog of like giving birth back to back to back. Yeah. And me just being busy, but wanting to be intimate with you. But I wasn't, I guess, carrying my end of the bargain and making it easy for you to pour into yourself. Yeah. In order for you to actually like, you know.
I mean, I think it's just twofold. Like, yes, I could, like, we don't really blame each other for anything, right? But I feel like I could have communicated. How do you know that something is wrong if the person is just like, if I'm good, you know? Yeah. I wasn't great all the time, but it's like, oh, she's just tired or whatever, you know? Right. Which sleep deprivation is a real thing. Definitely. When you have kids, small kids at that, and hard multiple, crazy, right? And so I can't give you what I don't have. Like if I don't have energy, if I'm, you know, sleep deprived or whatever.
And I needed that.
But look, let's not get it twisted, because they tell you how long to wait until after you have sex, after having a baby. I mean, to have sex after you have a baby. It's like 6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
Bro, I swear. We probably had sex when Camden was born. I think it was like
6 days.
Yeah. I think it was like 2 weeks. Or maybe it was Cadence. It was one of them. Yeah. I don't remember the details exactly, but I feel like it was like, I don't know. Or maybe it was later. It was shorter and shorter though. Yeah. Maybe we did wait the 6 weeks with Camden, but by Cadence, it was like, all right, you pop that baby out. Actually had her in the car, no complications. Yeah. Like, come on, you good.
That's a whole nother story we should get into one day.
Yeah.
But speaking of like being intimate, sex in general, there are a lot of documented health benefits to being intimate with your partner. And I think that one of the things that I feel responsible for doing, that we both probably do, is kind of creating a new culture around sex. Because like right now, especially in our culture, it's sex is mostly talked about in a promiscuous foundation, where it's like, I done effed this person and I did that. But sex within a union with a trusted partner has immense benefits. I want to know from your experience.
With the what? Did you say trusted partner? I'm sorry.
With a trusted partner, okay. Yeah. I want to know from your experience, personal experience, in what ways has being more intimate improved the culture of health?
But I feel like I should be asking you that question. This is because you're the one. You have all the things to say about how life is different now versus then.
I do. And I will be happy to add to that. Yeah. But I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah.
Because it's always been for the past 10 years, it's always been I am looking for more in that area, and you've been a willing participant in that and giving me what I feel like I need, but it's never been Austin, I need more intimacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I was always ready to give that to you. Right. But now that we're both you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The same level.
Yeah.
At the same pace.
Yeah. What is it like? What is your perspective on that? How it's improved the health of our relationship. The culture of our home. Hey, you guys, I know you're enjoying the show so far, but I want to see something. Have you guys ever started a supplement routine that you ended up dropping after a few weeks because you couldn't keep up with it? I know I have, I promise. I honestly believe we all start the day with the intention to treat our bodies better, but if your wellness routine isn't sustainable, then it's not very likely that you'll benefit from it. And that's just a fact. That's why I decided to give AG1 by Athletic Greens a try. Because as a busy family man with 4 young kids, I needed a solution that I could actually implement every day. So I take it every morning while I'm cooking breakfast, and it makes me feel good knowing that I'm covering my nutritional bases before I get swept away by my busy schedule. AG1 is made with 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food source ingredients, which is extremely valuable due to the fact that our food sources aren't nearly as robust in micronutrients as they used to be. Again, when it comes to doing things that improve your health, it really boils down to your habits. And for me, implementing AG1 into my morning routine continues to be a piece of cake, and maybe it'd be the same for you. So, if you want to take ownership of your health, today is a good time to start. Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. If you want to try that out, go to athleticgreens.com/TCHP to take advantage of that special offer. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/TCHP. Hey, you guys, I want to ask you a question real quick. Do you always trust your gut? We hear all the time that we should trust our gut, but can we actually trust it? Well, it depends on your gut health, because your gut and your brain are intricately connected, and how you see, feel, and experience the world is influenced by the signals being sent by your gut. So if your gut health is off, it may not be trustworthy. And that's why supporting your gut is one of the most important aspects of improving your overall quality of life. You can support your gut better by getting enough fiber in your diet, but let's be honest, that's not always easy when you're busy or when your kids are picky eaters like some of ours. That's why we love using Fiber Mix by Supergut. The resistant starch fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, decreases the population of bad bacteria, and can help you feel full, sustain healthier weight, and even improve your blood sugar. Personally, my favorite thing about the powder is that you can mix it in just about anything. One time we put it in the kids' spaghetti and they had absolutely no idea. They even complimented us after finishing it. Supergut's Fiber Mix is an easy way to kickstart your gut into being a more trustworthy co-pilot for your brain. If improving your gut health is a priority for you, which it should be, I highly recommend you check out Supergut's Fiber Mix. I left a link in the show notes for you to check out this dope product and some of the other cool things they offer that help you improve your gut health. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
Yeah, that's something that I usually call myself a more shy and reserved person. But obviously there's another side to me, right?
Yes, there is.
That I'm starting to kind of I don't know, show more of or whatever. Mm-hmm. Obviously with you in mind.
Well, I mean,
right?
Who else would you?
But I think it's greatly benefited just our bond, you know. Yeah. And just in general, not even just before sex, I guess, just being a confident woman, and understanding just how much of an impact that has on a relationship. Right. I don't know. I've never had any complaints. Mm-hmm. But I think just I think it's been cool, like coming out of my shell a little bit and bringing you along with me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This sounds so sultry.
Hey, I'm listening.
For a great experience.
Talk to me.
I think that certain things have helped me with that, like certain tools.
Right, yeah.
I started 2020, I think it was, when we kind of got some help with that. I started using CBD, THC. You know, I know it's not fully legal in Georgia, but if you are outside of Georgia, you might want to explore that a little more.
Cannabis, you guys. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. It definitely has health benefits in a number of ways. Mentally, you know, it increases your pain threshold. I don't mean it like that, but obviously y'all know what I'm saying. You know, you're able to do more things. Things are a little bit more pleasurable.
Right.
You have it. So anyway, that, you know, you can have an excellent sex life without that. Right.
For sure.
But yeah, sex has been a pretty big contributing factor to our happiness overall. You know, you talked about benefits earlier, and we can have a whole episode just specifically talking about like sex and do a little bit of research into those benefits. Yeah, but I think it's
been a pillar
cool.
For sure. So sex is one thing that contributes to like a good culture of health in the home. Yeah. What are some other things that we do in our household that contribute to the culture of health that we have, from how we take care of ourselves, our kids, just overall? Like,
I would say that we try to have consistent, like, healthy habits, right? From everything from like sleep to eating well to how we pour into our mental health. I think that's been really important for me over the last like 2 years. And that's something that when we talk about like the fog, I didn't even know what that was, right? I mean, I had a pretty cool spiritual foundation, but it was still not, it wasn't where it is today. Right. You know, as far as like what I'm speaking over myself, how I able to control my thoughts, pour into myself, change my brain. I didn't know nothing about neuroplasticity then, you know, but now it's like, I mean, it's been a pillar for me. Right. And then I feel like I'm able to do everything else a little bit more easily because of that. So then add in meditation, baths every now and then, right? Or the lack thereof for me. No, I'm kidding. I know that
Fantasia doesn't go to the gym, y'all.
Okay, listen. Some people, because you do not have to go to the gym to exercise, but I don't do that either. I don't do that at home.
She don't exercise at home, at the gym. You know what? That's interesting.
I'm a work in progress.
As much as we talk about health, as much as we know that muscle is a strong contributing factor to overall health.
Do we know that, or do you know that?
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I know
you know that too.
I know.
But like, so that makes you've told me this before. Let me say it.
No, okay.
You were trying to be more consistent in the gym, and you stopped, and you were like, Austin, I'm just like everybody else. But this is cool because I think that you still have good health. Yeah. Obviously you do. Yeah. And you don't go to the gym. I think that.
Okay, I go to the gym. I just go like.
Fantasia be like going to the gym.
Week. I go once a week.
No, you go like.
And then I be complaining about why I'm hurting so bad.
And then you stop. Or sometimes you go and you just don't work out. You go. And
I've never done that.
Oh, that's cap.
In the last couple months. I used to go to the gym to get a break. Yeah. Just a break. You know, it was to be around other people, just to, you know, smell different air. Like, it was. It sounds so desperate.
Away from the kids, basically.
Yeah, to get away from the kids. And so that, because I would go to have the break, it was like, okay, I'm not just going to sit in the parking lot, although I've done that too. Yeah. But like, I'm like, okay, I'm here now. Right. The hardest part is getting there. For sure. You know, and every time I go and I work out, even if it's, I get a really quick, good workout in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up.
But so using your words, being just like everybody else, that's comforting, because a lot of people beat themselves up for not going to the gym. Right. Yeah. But like when you establish a culture of health, I think that a culture of health could be made up of several different things. That doesn't have to include going to the gym. Right. What would you say to your fellow comrades out there who also don't?
So we comrades now. Anyway, whatever.
No, but seriously, I think that you can be an inspiration, right? Because you don't have to do all the things, which I'm going to come to in a second. Okay. You don't have to do all the things to have good health. You have to pick the things that work for you. So with that in mind.
And go. Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you have to pick the things that work for you, but also like I have an awareness. Like I know, you know what I'm saying? It's like I know better, but it's like I'm aware of it so then I can incorporate it when I can. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not just like oblivious and like no, exercise is just not great for you.
Most people are aware.
So I think with that, you can kind of lessen your expectations for what exercise looks like, or you can change them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're not, so if the gym doesn't work for me, I can do something else. Although I like building muscle. I like getting strong.
Right.
I do. Again, it's just getting there and making a commitment. You've told me before, it's like, okay, are you thinking about going to the gym or did you decide?
Because every time you be like, I'm thinking about going,
then it's like,
yeah,
because it's not a priority.
Exactly.
I'll just do all the other things and then we'll get to the end of the night and I'll be like,
exactly.
Maybe tomorrow.
So with that in mind, what are all the other things that you do to maintain good health? What's up, you guys? So what I'm about to tell you is really important, and you'd probably take it more seriously if I was a little bit older, like 28 years older. So hang on.
Okay, this is better. All right, look, as much as I talk about health on this podcast, one aspect that's often overlooked is health insurance. I know. You think it's expensive, but I promise it doesn't have to be.
What are you talking about, Dad?
I'm trying to tell them about insurance.
Oh, man, do your thing.
My name is Eric. I'm with Access Benefit Consultants. I've been insuring families since Austin was a baby. Our agents specialize in helping independent contractors get covered with health insurance.
Wait, I'm an independent contractor. How much you think it'll cost me?
Man, we help people get covered for little or nothing. It depends on a few things. And I'll tell you what, why don't you just head over to our site? You can either call us, set an appointment, or generate your own quote. And tell your mom and them to call us as well. They need someone they can trust to go over their plan. And we're those people.
Because maybe other people can take notes.
So some of the stuff that I said earlier, like just being mindful of like how much sleep I get.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been the best lately, right? But still, just like cutting out screens before a certain time, not drinking coffee after a certain time.
After what time?
After 3 p.m. Is really the time where it's not supposed to, affect your sleep too much. But drinking water when I can. I feel like I say these things and it's not like, y'all, I do this perfectly every day. I swear I don't.
That's
but
good,
I'm
though.
mindful of it.
Yeah.
And so because I'm mindful of it, then I can actually be intentional.
Okay. So yeah, being mindful instead of like new year, new me, committing to going to the gym 6 days a week, drinking a gallon of water a day, cutting carbs, cutting sugar, doing all the things. Maybe it will be useful for a lot of people to just commit to being more mindful. Just think about the things that you're doing on a daily basis.
Yeah. And it's really like setting intention, right? So it's it's a commitment, but it's really small, you know? I think that it's cool when you do it and then you actually like you prioritize things. So you do it and then you're able to celebrate yourself. I think that is really, but it's like maybe change how you look at it instead of like a day-to-day basis. Sometimes it's cool to go out a little bit and say, okay, how did I do this week? You know what I'm saying? How was my month or whatever? But understanding that we say that if I do the things, then I feel good. I have no choice but to feel good, right? So instead of me focusing on, being more productive or very specific things, it's like, nah, like just do these things that you know works,
Exactly.
you know? So if I'm feeling off or have a low energy or whatever, I know one of your first questions is like, okay, how much water have you had today?
Right, yeah.
You know, and I know we've joked about it in the past, but like I think how your partner supports you and stuff really matters.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, damn, how much water have you had today? Or, you know, but.
Do I ask you like that? I'm like, damn, girl.
Or that's how it feels.
You ain't had no water today, huh?
And then I'm like, oh, or his real question is, your real question is like, it's how much water? Is it how much? No. It's have you had enough?
Have you had enough?
Have you had
today?
enough? And I'm like,
because it's not
know.
a quantify. I just want to know if you put that effort in.
I know. It's really like a reminder to go drink some. So I think, because when I think of that, I'm like, I don't know how many ounces I'm supposed to tell you. I don't know how many times I filled up this bottle. But it's really like.
It just goes back to being mindful about it.
Yeah. And it's a gentle reminder for me to just go drink some water.
Yeah. That's a really big thing is for couples, spouses, to know how to support your person throughout their health and wellness journey.
And sometimes you don't know until you try and you fail, and then you get feedback from the other person.
That energy. know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
leave me the F alone.
Right.
Mind your business.
Like, you love to go to the gym. I don't always like to go to, I'm appreciative when I go, but it's not my first thing. I wake up in the morning, it's like, all right, what time I'm going to the gym?
Mm-hmm.
No. It's like, what time I'm going to have a break?
Yeah.
To have just silence, you know?
Yeah.
So I think with that, it's just, it's like you adjusting
Right.
to how that makes me feel.
Yeah, exactly.
And just stop asking. That's really it.
Well, I remember our previous conversation. It wasn't that I like stopped caring. It's just that I trust you. You know what I'm saying? I just know that you're gonna do what's best for your body. And this, for a lot of people, the most that I can do is support you.
Yeah.
Period. Whatever you decide to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. I'm not inside of your body. I don't know how you feel. I don't know what your thoughts are. You know. I need to know what can I do to make her feel good.
Yeah.
Because in that space, you're able to go and do all the things to take feeling good to the next level.
And sometimes helping me feel good is just like, it's within your words, or it's literally
My energy.
your energy. You always have good energy.
I do always
it's
have
like,
good energy.
Or when you don't, I know, right?
I can't have one day of bad. I can't be like.
Have like 20 minutes.
I can't even have 20 minutes
what's
of bad
wrong with
energy.
you? What's wrong? What is this? What do you mean? Like, you're supposed to be the one, But I was gonna say that it's within your words, but also like your actions and like being helpful.
Right.
And you've always been very helpful, right? But it's just in like, sometimes people just need help in a way that where you don't have to ask. Where it's like, all right, I'm just gonna start the dinner.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna clean up.
But that took a really long time for me to figure out, was how to be helpful. And of course, it's like, it just makes sense. It's common sense for me to accept responsibility for the things that are happening in this house and not to rely on you and wait on you to do things because you might be better than me at them. Like cooking. I think that you're better than me at cooking.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I don't. I made sweet potatoes last night and I was like, oh, I wish she was here.
Sweet potatoes. Sweet
Kids,
potato
that was the only, they left that on their plate.
Sweet potato wasn't busting like that. But in general, like going back, we've been married for 10 years now. I probably didn't start cooking for real till like 3 years ago, 2 years ago,
A year and a half.
A year and a half. A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But that was like not you telling me I need to do it. It was me realizing like, okay, me being helpful in this way is helping my wife become the best version of herself. It's helping her become healthier, right?
Yeah.
So like when you go back to creating this culture of health, like I can't beat you over the head for the things you're supposed to be doing. Like, did you take your supplements today?
Yeah.
Did you drink enough water?
It's like leading by example. I think that's a big thing in our relationship.
It's that, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. It's me asking myself, like, before I ask you, did you drink enough water or exercise or whatever, did she have time to think about those things?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that you want the best for yourself.
Right.
And if I give you the time to actually think about it, then you'll do those things. It's just going back to sex. It's the same thing. Like if you spent all day with the kids, cooking, cleaning, wiping butts, and breastfeeding, you're not going to be thinking about sex by the time I get home.
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of me bothering you, and this goes for all the fellas out there, before you ask your wife about her habits or what she's doing for herself, you have to ask yourself what you're doing to give her enough time to do the things to take care of herself. Ooh, I'm getting some tonight.
Oh my gosh.
I'm talking good.
Yes, definitely. All those things.
Yeah.
And I think in hindsight, you don't know, right? When you're going through stuff, really, I mean, it's good for people to hear from you, a person like you who has experience, but like in the moment, you don't really know. You're just trying to do the best you can.
Yeah, because like the same me a few years ago, like take like to Nick and Tiffany. Like I saw him doing similar things, but I was looking at him like, man, that is a square. Like,
or it's just like, oh, that's what's up. That's what works for y'all,
right?
But you didn't know that it would work for us too until we actually started to do it.
I didn't think anybody who takes care of their family was a square. I just wasn't there in my mind, like to do those things.
Yeah,
I think that is the same.
I mean, you were doing the things. You weren't loading the dishwasher like while after I was cooking. It wasn't like a clean as you go thing. I feel like that's a difference that they had, like very succinct like habits or whatever.
Right,
that was cool.
I was helpful in the way that I knew how to be best helpful.
Yeah,
but it wasn't enough, And I think that that's the case for a lot of people. I keep coming back to this culture of health thing. Like most people are absolutely doing the best that they can.
Yeah.
And it takes time and consistent effort to be able to reap the benefits of growth, basically. Like, it took me 10 whole years, and I'm still on a journey, right? I'm sure that in 5 years, I'll look back to where I am now and be like, man, I ain't know nothing.
Yeah.
It took me a really long time to get to where I am now. And it's nothing specific happened. It was just consistently trying to do better and being exposed to the benefits of doing better. And establishing a culture of health is like the same way. It's doing the things consistently, not expecting immediate results, but just, doing it over a long period of time, long enough to where you actually like see results.
Yeah, I think I contributed to you being more, I guess, helpful, if we want to say that specifically.
How?
Because I had to let go, like, right? Like, and that went along with my journey of growth. Like, so we're both like on this journey, growing together, but in different ways. Because if I'm doing all the things in the house, but also I'm tired and I'm complaining, but I don't stop doing something else, you know what I'm saying? What is the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
So yeah, like I can't expect to pour into myself or whatever, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, cook everything, every meal. I'm gonna take care of the kids. I'm gonna do all this stuff,
Right.
So I think it was me. Speaking of break, this time, our 4-year-old is in my lap. For those who can't see this,
yes,
being so extra right now.
He is intentionally
disrupting. He's
killing
blocking
the vibe. He's blocking.
Yes.
And they always block. I don't know
Always.
why. Anytime I'm touching you, talking to you, don't touch my mommy.
As if I'm not your wife.
As if you would be here if I didn't. Crazy.
Not that part.
Anyway, so yeah, I think that taking it back to the root of this conversation, a strong culture of health is rooted in the two people that are leading the household, which is traditionally a man and a woman, and the health of their relationship. And I think that it's interesting how the growth of our relationship has been parallel with our understanding of how to take better care of ourselves. And I don't think that's a coincidence.
Right. Yeah. No, it's everything.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that I guess people maybe who are married first and have time to pour into themselves and their relationships or whatever. I guess you get that before you have kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We chose to be thrusted into all that.
Yeah.
So naturally, you do what you have to do for your family and for your kids and everybody else before you do for yourself. So we just kind of did it. I won't even say backwards. It was just different.
Yeah, we did it different.
Yeah.
And it's paying off. And
right. I don't know. I'm like, is that a good thing or what?
no, it's not.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's been a beautiful journey. And I think
has.
that we have, a lot to look forward to. I'm excited about more of these conversations where we can like kind of dive into topics a little bit deeper. All the things,
what are some of those topics?
You want me to talk about sex. That's what you're looking at me.
So that's one of them. That's, if it's not clear by now, that's obviously like my
sex
thing.
And support.
Sex and support.
Awesome.
If I got sex and support, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And I feel it. I really do. But we have a lot to talk about in that realm. And then just like being supportive in general. I think we take that for granted, you know. But I guess there are really practical things that we do.
Yeah.
Unconsciously that we can really help other people with.
Yeah. And then health related, just as far as the rest of the podcast is concerned, like the conversations between you and I will be focused on like healthy relationships and how that turns into a healthy culture in your house.
Exactly.
But also we've got experts that are coming on to talk to us about cannabis.
Yeah.
To talk to us about
excited about that.
What it feels like to age. I've got Jeffrey coming on to talk about being resilient despite like some of the hard things that we go through in life. So I think that ultimately by the time we get done with all 30 episodes of the first season of this podcast, we'll paint a full picture on how to create a new culture of health in your home. And that's like the ultimate goal. It's showing people how to create a culture of health. So you can do that by subscribing to the YouTube channel. You can do that by rating the podcast, following the podcast on your preferred listening platform. And following us on Instagram, where we actually show what it looks like to build and live within a culture of health that we've established.
Right. And our Instagram handles are fantasia.mcguffey and austin.mcguffey.
Yes.
And we're both pretty active on there. If you want to see behind the scenes, a lot of kid life, unfiltered, unscripted.
Kind of like what's going on right here with this.
Right. But you get to hear them talk.
Right.
Happily.
Yes. So thank you guys for listening to our first episode of the Culture of Health podcast. Fantasia and I have so much more coming as far as conversations are concerned. You guys just heard what we have coming up with experts. Again, share the show with a friend. 93% of the people in this country are considered metabolically unhealthy. That has nothing to do with their individual choices, but it has everything to do with their individual choices at the same time. But more so rooted in just the culture that we have in this country that doesn't support healthy living. And we need to reverse that. And one way you can do that is by listening to this podcast and sharing it with someone who also needs this important information. Babe, any last words?
That's all I got.
Wonderful.
I'm excited for the rest of them to come.
Good.
Thanks
All right.
for having me.
Thank you for joining.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Rate the podcast, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.